I have been fighting some gremlins, so the link did not go out until really, really late. So I set it to go live at 8:10 instead of 8. I apologize, guys, but today is the 20th of January. Welcome to Tuesday at Two Lines. I'm your host, Marty Ford. So I need an audio check. I need a video check. Does everything look okay? I'm doing some different things on this end, guys. So this is a true test. And I told Steve from Slot Car Corner, and don't forget our show sponsor, Slot Car Corner. I told Steve, he sent me a message. He's like, "Hey, I don't see the link out there." I'm like, I'm getting trial by fire tonight, but we're messing with some new equipment. Not going to go into like great detail, but trying to make some improvements to the live stream, and it didn't kick off great. I thought I knew what I was doing, but like I always prove, I know nothing, and I proved to myself. So who all do we have in the house? Hey, there we go. We have Brad from HSF. The Fingers is in the house. Chris Frater is here and in the chat. John Tucci. Shotgun Dave, good evening. Guys, I apologize for being late, but what's up in the slot car world? What are you guys into? If anybody could let me know, is the audio okay? It looks good here. Is there an echo? I'm guessing there's an echo because I can actually hear. I'm not quite sure how to mute that. Let me know if you guys hear that and if it's causing a problem. So who else do we have? And Chris Petskowski, 7165 is here, running some laps. They're running some laps on the Polycar track. Shout out to our buddy Danny. Danny's texted me. He's like, "Hey, can I come over and run some laps during the live stream?" And I was like, "I would love for you to come over and run some laps. I've been trying to get you back over here, but I only have 2 lanes tonight." So we were 2 lines at 2 lanes with the Chris's coming over. So Danny's gonna come over another night. So Danny, thanks, man. Sorry about that. And there is Steve from Slot Car Corner is in the house. Steve, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you very much. Speaking of Slot Car Corner, let's see what's on the front page. This will be our Slot Car Corner minute for tonight. In future episodes of Tuesdays, Steve is actually going to jump in and let us know what's all the cool stuff going on. But let's just nose around the site for a second. It looks like we've got some pre-orders. The NSR 997 Golf is on pre-order. The McLaren is on pre-order. And I think one of the best GT40 liveries out there. I'm gonna take a look at this one. I absolutely love this car, mainly because of the detail in the headlights. How cool is that? Man, that is a good looking car. That is going to be a very popular car, I believe. What else do we have? Some BMW Z4s and the Martini liveries. New arrivals. We have the 917K Martinis in the red nosed and the green nosed. Those look really good. And then some new C8 Corvette. So that's pretty exciting. The sideways M4s. And then the Mustangs. That looks like a white kit. Yeah, we got a white kit. And then this is a great looking the sideways livery. I think that's a great looking car, the test car. Ooh, now we got a 360 view of the car. Now I'm curious, Steve, did you do that, or is that something that Sideways provided you? Because that's a great view of the car. Let's see if this one is. So if you want to paint your own, that's great. What else? That car, that Scale Auto, that is a great looking livery, and no doubt that is out of stock already. I knew that would be a popular one, and if you wanted it, you needed to jump on it early. And then the Scale Auto Peugeot, that's a good looking car too. So we've got the Scale Auto race. Those are GT cars coming up. And the AMSCO race, those will be GT cars right there. If you want more information about AMSCO, go to AMSCO's website. But then Slot Car Corner is a major sponsor of that event. And he has set up a page to help people find information. So if you are considering going to that. And then we gave away some hats last week, and the guys we gave them to, they're starting to show up. So pretty excited about that. Well, let's go here, and let's see what's going on the track. I should move that other camera, since the Polycar track, the cars aren't making it all the way down to that camera. And then we got a small view of what's going on. Looks like the guys are running a pair of Lolas. So there you have it. So let's get back to see who else is in HSF. Since you got 2 new tracks, you are selling off your Carrera. There will probably be guys in this chat interested. So make sure you get it posted out there, and let me know, and I can share the link. I helped Steve Holzman sell his Carrera track, and happy to help you if we can get the word out. People are always looking for tracks, right? Jay Johnson, thanks for tuning in. Sound and look good. Thanks, Vince. Appreciate it. Hey, Ernest, practicing racing on the track. Glad you're getting some laps in. Troy is in the house, in and out as you're talking. In and out, probably because I was moving away from the microphone. But let me check the audio levels here. I've got good audio level on my audio. Yeah. So one of the things I've got to get used to is I've kind of got a new interface, and so I feel like I'm looking down a lot. So I apologize, but that's where I'm reading this. Hey, George. Thanks for tuning in, George. Glad you're here. Mr. Albright is in the house. Better late than never. I was the one late. Not you, John. Not you. Joey Boots is in the house. John Tucci. Hey, Andy. Bob. What's up, man? All right. Are you guys getting the... I hear the echo. Okay. I gotta take care of that echo. How about that? Check 1. I think that got it. Let me know if you guys are still hearing it. And that may be what you're referring to, in and out. Chris McFarland. I just want to go out and say congrats to Marty and his Indiana Hoosiers for winning the national championship. Those of you in Florida and were rooting for Miami, apologize. Sorry. But, yeah, congrats, Marty. You probably had a great day at work today. That would be my guess. Hey, Daryl, I did get your message. I was too busy messing with all of this, trying to get it to respond. So I apologize for not responding. The link wasn't out there. Hey, Ryan, thanks for tuning in. Bob says, no echo here. NFL picks. Hello. Welcome. Hey, KR. What's up? Question: enjoy watching the HRW showdown. Any thoughts on 124 car for the summer showdown? KR, that's a good question. If they stick to the rotation, we'd probably see some show cars, 124 scale show cars. They haven't announced it yet. I'm just guessing. The other thing that they could do is see, what was the last? They could do the NASCAR again. So it's been a couple proxies since they've done the NASCAR cars. Maybe pick a different era. So those are my thoughts on that. Okay, Vince says he doesn't hear an echo. That's good. I still do. Hopefully not now. That should be... I still hear it. Okay. It's coming through a speaker in my Mac Mini, which is so low you probably don't hear it. It's all right. Hey, Nick. Good to have you back, man. Hey, Ty. Where did you order from, Brad? Steve. Well, I just turned back in, and I thought I missed the memo, but I heard Chris was there. Yeah, you didn't miss the memo. I was just running late. It was all on me, guys. But I got it figured out. You know, you learn something new every time you do this. And anytime you change systems and make some changes in what you're doing, things can change on you. Things can happen. I rearranged my screens, and so I feel like I'm spending less time looking at you guys at the camera, and I've got like too much to be able to look at in front of me now. So that might be a problem. Andy is working on wheels and tires for the 24-hour. Nice. Hey, Dusty. Thanks for tuning in. You think it's okay now? Good. Yeah, it's low enough that you guys probably don't hear it. I'm hitting my... yeah, anyway. Oh, well. What else? Steve Holzman, how's it going? What a week for Amsco. Thanks, everyone, for being awesome. No, Steve, you are awesome. So what's going on in the slot car world this year, or this week, I should say? I broke down, and I guess I ordered a slot car today. So I ordered one of the new Scale Auto Lambos as part of a group purchase. I got peer pressured into it. What's up, Frank? Thanks for tuning in, man. Hope all is well. I'm enjoyed running those laps. So, Jen, we want you to heal up. We know you got hurt, broken foot, I think you said. A couple bones in your foot. That's painful. I've done that before. So hopefully you heal up. Hopefully you get out of that cast and into a boot, something that you can at least take on and off when you need to. So heal up. Sitting here drawing up a new wooden track tonight. Troy is working on a new, hanging out with you fellow slot guys. So track design is fun. I'll touch on that a little bit since I'm in the midst of it. But I had time, I would have shown you some pictures. I have completed the table in the other room that the polycar track is going to go on. And I didn't have a chance to, I finished that up kind of late last night while I was watching the football game. I've got the carpet down. It's ready to build track on. And so once the live stream's up, I will probably start moving that polycar track over and working on a layout. I want to know what the chat thinks. I have quite a bit of track, but obviously not a ton if I go 4 lanes. But I can build a pretty substantial layout. I mean, I still have more track, and I'm covering this track with a 2-lane. So do I build a 2-lane track or do I build a 4-lane track? So what do you think? Put it in the chat. Did I see Dickie in here? Let's see. Ray Lego, I'm at the front door. Let me in. Ray, you ever find yourself in Ohio? I expect a phone call. I'd love to meet up. You need to jump on the live stream. I told you after, you told me after the first of the year. Well, it's after the first of the year. What's this? It's one of Ray's cars. Oh, Ray Lego. This is one of Ray's cars that he built. Man, I like it. Well done. That's fantastic. I like it, Ray. Good work, man. Good work. So, yeah, Chris is here running some laps. He's actually, you've run a few laps on the polycar with that, haven't you? So, I can throw it over to the track. So we watch those guys run a few little laps. And then I could probably... Oh, video source, me. Oh, yeah. I'm blocking that if I put that overlay up. So, yeah, Ray, anytime, man. You wanna show up, we will make that happen. The track is open. Track is open. Too funny. Question: what does Chris think of the Polycar? Kerry, that's a good question. We'll ask him in a minute. I think that he was running some NSRs that had NSR rubber, and he really liked the Polycar surface with that. Those tires are really good on Polycar. He has a lot of cars set up for silicone because he runs Carrera, and those do pretty good on the Polycar track. Okay. Hey, Vin, thanks for tuning in. Oh, that went... Joe doesn't need any track, so if he asks, the answer is no. Hey, Tom. What's up? Tom says, tell Chris Frater I said hi. Sean is lurking in the background, painting a car. Nice, Sean. I need to get some paint. Thanks, Steve. On some cars. Jason, what's up, brother? Thanks for tuning in. So going back to the track. So 2-lane, 4-lane. I'm still undecided. I'm not sure exactly what route to go, but it'll happen probably this weekend. We'll see. Hey, Jerry, thanks for hitting the like button. I appreciate that. What else do we have? So yeah, 2 lanes, 4 lanes. I think I'm leaning towards a 2-lane, and I can probably do close to 100-foot, 95-foot layout on that as a 2-lane. That might be a little too busy. So as I start laying track out, I'll make a decision kind of. So yeah, how's Colt? As Daryl asks. I agree. How is Colt doing? Hopefully he's doing well. Thank you. Yes, unfortunately not fun. Yeah, man, I feel for you. It stinks. Hey, Mike D. Yeah, Mike, man, I really wanted to go, but I ended up helping the wife. She took her sister. She has a handicapped sister, and she loves Ohio State basketball. And so for Christmas, we got all of her family tickets to go to the basketball game together. And so I had to kind of hold down the fort here, and had some things that she needed me to work on. So, happy wife, happy life. So it was just going to be too long of a trip to go up early Saturday morning and try to get back in time. So, but you're welcome. What else do we have? Bigger 2-lane. Dusty likes the 2-lane idea. 4 lanes all the way. See, I knew you guys wouldn't be any help. There is something about being able to get 4 guys on the track, but we don't have 4 guys here that often. A lot of times it's just Dusty and I, or it's John Mark and I, or the 3 of us. Chris comes over. There's usually 2 or 3 of us running. So unless I'm hosting a race, I usually don't have to have 4, but it is fun because the side-by-side racing is a lot of fun. Hey, Rob, if not much racing going on, build a 2-lane. All right. I like where this is headed, I think. Depends on how many people are going to be in your basement driving your track. Yeah, thanks. Raul, hope you're doing well. Raul, I have some questions that you might be able to help me with. If you got some time this week, love to chat. So, yeah, let me know. West Coast Slot Car, what's up? All right. What else was I going to try? I was going to do overlays. Yeah. So I'm playing with some graphics. I'm trying to prep for the AMSCO race. So that's okay. So anyway, I'm working on some things. Hey, Greg. Vince says a big 2-lane. Yeah, I think I'm kind of leaning that direction until the first time a bunch of guys show up. And then, I'm like, man, I wish I had 4-lane. The other thing I'm thinking about doing is I got a phone call today from a pastor of my church. And in the spring and in the fall, I usually lead a life group at our church, our small groups. And I've done them on a lot of different things, music, and so I've got 2 choices this year, and one of them is like people are asking about like playing guitar and having the opportunity to kind of jam. And so I was thinking about running a life group that invited musicians that don't normally play on Sunday mornings with me. And then the other one is a slot car group that would meet like each Monday, and we'd come down and we'd race for an hour and a half. And, but I'm afraid that I might have a bunch of people sign up for that, and I wouldn't be able to accommodate all of them at once. So I'm still trying to decide what to do there, but we'll see. Questions, Jerry. Are the guys liking the Polycar instead of the Carrera? Oh, I think they're having fun on the Polycar. We thought about, after the live stream, tearing it down real quick and moving it over to the table, and setting all the pieces there so that Chris would have a chance to run the Carrera, the 4-lane. So we'll see. We might do that. It depends on how. We all need to move next to Marty, but warmer in Florida. Yeah, right. It's cold right now, Tom. It is really cold. It's 15 degrees right now here in Chillicothe, and it's supposed to get in even lower overnight. What else do we have? Hey, UC. What's up, Dave? Hope you're doing well. Across the pond. So what else we got going on tonight? I was late, but I think I got all the kinks worked out. Seems to be working out all right. I don't know if the picture, I changed the light, so hopefully we're better lit. That chair was in the shot. I didn't like that. What else? I haven't had a chance to really, because I've been working on the track, I haven't had a chance to like work on any cars. I have been running some laps. I just picked one of Ian Douglas's cars. And Ian, if you're watching, these cars are great. Thanks. I really want to get them on a wooden track. I think it's only fair to maybe, while I have the cars, either get with Greg and get down and run some laps on Butch's track, or like the cave would have been a perfect opportunity to run some laps up there. But I'd really like to get a chance to run these on a track that they were made to run on, right? And since I won't be at Electric Dreams or that track in Canada, in Edmonton, I've been watching his Facebook page. The guy is just great driver, but he's doing some great work on Facebook and posting some great videos, and what a fun layout. And so which makes me go, man, I would love to try this car on that layout since it won on that layout, right? The one thing I did do since I was running this on the Carrera track is I swapped out the wheels. And so here are the tires that Ian prepped. And he gave me permission to do what I wanted, right? He said, tear them apart, run a bunch of laps, take a look at them, learn something from it, right? And I threw this on my Carrera track, but I put my silicone tires off of my 908. Those wheels, just a direct fit. And this car is the fastest vintage car that I've run on my Carrera. It consistently runs 6.7s when the track is warmer than it is tonight. It's cold tonight. It's chilly down here, but super quick. Now, it's tuned completely different than the way I tune my cars. And so it drives a lot different because it drives much heavier. And I don't know, do I have my scale? I don't know where my scale's at. I was going to put this on the scale and see, because I know what my 908 normally weighs, and this has got, this is probably 6-8 grams heavier, maybe not that much. Yeah, not that much. It's a little heavier. It's got some tape on the bottom, just right in the front of the pod. But this car handles really good. It's very quick. Ian's, I would like to know his motor break-in procedure, because whatever it is, it worked. Maybe he bought 40 of these motors and picked the hottest one. I don't know. But it's a great running car. My plan is to do the same thing with the C8. But the Scale Auto, that thing is slammed on the ground, and because of that, on the plastic track, it struggles. It loses contact on a few sections, and it's because the way the plastic track works, it's raising the front or the rear tires off the track. And so I think ride height is going to be the problem with this. but which makes me really want to try this on wood track. I think this car is going to be fantastic. So those are really the only cars that I've like spent any time working with lately, kind of messing with, because I felt like Ian was nice enough to send them to me. I don't want to like wear out my welcome and keep them too long, but I do want to do a lot of testing, and eventually I will do videos where I know Ian's already done them, but I probably will do at least on one of these cars, do a breakdown video so we can kind of get some ideas. But the first thing you will notice is the paint work is absolutely fantastic. The ghost checkered flag across the middle on the 908, phenomenal. And that's pretty true to color what I'm seeing on the screen. So, yeah, good stuff. Thanks, Raul. Yeah, I have some questions that you might be able to clear up and answer for me. What else? With 2 lanes, you can make a more intricate layout. Yeah, Jerry, I can pack a lot more, a little bit more track length into that. Hey, Ron, don't worry about being late because I was late myself. So you didn't miss much. 2 lanes is more track to race on. Yep, Robert. Question, when was the last time you heard someone say, I wish I built a smaller garage? Yeah, never. That is not something that comes out of people's mouths. You're correct. Drummer Boy says, I'll come jam with you and slot cars with you. That sounds like a good time. 2 Line Speedway would live up to your name. Yep, Robert. Except for the fact that 2 lines is not a reference to the track. It's kind of a play on words. Both of my kids' daughters' names end in Line. So I have 2 lines, Madeline and Caroline. And so that was kind of the joke as they were growing up. I had 2 lines, and it just became the name. I made some skateboards for, 5 or 6 years. A little skateboard business where I made longboards, and they were 2 lines board company. And then when I started the channel, I thought it's got to be 2 line slot cars, right? And so my kids love that I named my slot car channel after them. So I'm about 5 hours from you. Yeah, that's a little tough to make it for Life Group. I hope our Australian friends come to the race in May. That would be awesome. But man, what an expensive slot car trip that would be. Jerry asked if there's anything new from the 3D printer. No, the last thing I printed, actually, Jerry, is I printed a 2-finger trigger for a +1 controller that I designed, and then I printed some for the polycar track, some outside borders for R2 and R3 turns. One was a file that slotted, posted out there, and the other one was one that I designed from scratch in Blender. So, and if you know what you're looking for, you'll know the difference. But they're pretty close to the originals. So I'm kind of proud of them. But yeah, outside of that, I actually haven't ran the printer since I printed those outside borders. Just haven't had one time, and didn't really need to print anything at the moment. I've got a couple of things that I do want to print. So I'd say this weekend, I'll probably be firing that back up again. What else do we have? Joey Boots says, I could bring the drums, Marty. That sounds good. It was 70 in the house this morning. We put the heat on to take the chill off. That's good, Greg. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, it's cold here. Which makes it cold. Like my nose is running a little bit. It makes it cold here in the basement. It's probably maybe 60 degrees down here. The guys have jackets on. Yeah. So what else do we have? I talked a little bit about our sponsor. Shout out to Slot Car Corner and some of the things that they have highlighted on their front page of their website. Go to slotcarcorner.com for any of your slot car needs. I appreciate Steve and Bob and what they're doing to help out the channel. It's really exciting right now in my life surrounding the YouTube channel. And I feel like every day we're upping our game, and Steve is a big help in providing some things to just sponsor the channel, and it's awesome. And I think I saw my other channel sponsor, Super Tires. I think I saw Pamela in here, if I wasn't mistaken. So shout out to Pamela and Super Tires. I'll need to get a Slot Car Corner banner at some point to hang up there. I do have Predator Motors, and there's a Quick Slicks banner in here, and we got some other stuff. But shout out to Pamela. Super Tires has been a great sponsor. I really appreciate them, and that's what I'm running on Ian Douglas's car, 1403s. And it gets around the track really, really good thanks to those. Even the Polycar. People like to say that silicone doesn't work on the Polycar track, but they're lying to you. It actually does work. It actually works really well. Christine, you will like the DSP PHN1. I just blew a fuse in mine. So I need to pick up some extra fuses. I'm not sure how that happened. Joe, mine in Sony could true them down a little. They are foam inserts from MR Slot Car. Oh, gotcha. Dungeon Racer, shall we see you tomorrow? Nick says, we need to GoFundMe to go race there. Nick, that could work. I don't know what plane tickets are from like Melbourne to Columbus or Cleveland, but that's where you would want to fly into, one of those two. Yep, Freighter is in the house, and so is Petskowski. I struggle with his last name. Tom, thanks, man. Just, when you're having fun, it makes it easy. Only 51 likes, folks. Yeah, that's all right. We oh, that's interesting. I just realized something. Okay. Jason, how about that 2-line setup block? Jason, man, so hang on. Where are we at? That actually is the next thing I need to 3D print. I actually have one. It's got the logo. It's right here. But the only problem with it is I like the logo that I'm printing on this better. I split it, and it prints better when it's bigger. And then I also have it in blue. So, but that logo is so small that it's not printing perfect. So I don't know what color you want, black or blue. I'll get that sent out to you. What else? Old fuse trick, CA glue. CA glue two together, butt to butt. If you blow one, quick change. Oh, actually, that's a great idea. That's the first time I've blown a fuse in that controller, and Chris was using it because that's what he has, but he doesn't have XLR on it, and I didn't have the adapter to take him to XLR, which I need to make one up, actually. Because it's the temporary Polycar, I only have XLR. I don't have posts. And I don't know if I don't know what happened. So he's running my DeFalco right now. Should be working fine, but yeah, I just need to replace that. John Tucci, you need to sell the tire cleaners. So that tire cleaner, a lot of that happened thanks to Shotgun Dave. And if he's still in the chat, he was awesome in helping me get that thing finalized. And there's still a couple tweaks I think I need to do to it before I could do anything like that. I've given a few of them away. I need to figure out the screws. I need to buy the inserts off of Amazon, and I need to get with Dave to see which size I need to order for that so that I can screw that battery lid in. And then the other thing I need to do is the battery slot for the 9-volt is super tight. And a 9-volt fits in there, but with the wiring things that I got for it, it's super tight. So I actually have to cut a tiny little piece off. I mean, only need like a 16th, not even a 16th of an inch, like a 32nd of an inch. And so I just need to enlarge that piece so that the 9-volt battery fits a little better. And once I do that, then I'll be in maybe a little closer to being able to do something with it. But since the 3D guys really helped me with that, maybe that's something that if they're interested in putting, I guess we could always put the file out there for people to download if they want to make their own. I use copper tape, and I'm out of copper tape at the moment, or I would have 1-2 more finished to send out. But yeah, good stuff. What else? Tom, you never got your stickers? Dude, I sent those out a long time ago. I initially had forgotten to send them to you. They were buried under a bunch of stuff here on the table. But as soon as we talked about it, I sent those out. And so I need to go pick up my stickers from my printer. I ordered them a couple weeks ago. Do you have the color pin layout handy for XLR plugs? I don't have it handy. I have a video out there, Mike D, on it, but I think I need to double check. I think pin 1 is black, pin 2 is white, pin 3 is red. But I need to check that black and white because you don't want to get those mixed up. It's probably on Slot Car Corner's site. What network are you using, Marty? I'll send you one with the surface resistors. See how you like them. I'm running a 522 in my DeFalco. And I want to build the custom one that I talk about in that video. That Steve Howie built. A bunch of the guys, a handful of the guys are running it, and they absolutely love it. The 522 for me now is probably a little slow. So I need to probably go down into like 300s maybe if I'm just going to go a straight network. But I'd really like to try that custom network. That would be good. But I'm telling you what, the MK15 for me right now is my go-to. I don't like giving it up. I've been telling John Albright that I was going to send it to him, and every time I go to box it up, I end up running laps with it on my track, and I get sidetracked and don't get it boxed up. So I really need to do that. But he's got the +1. He's in love with it right now. I do have the +1 right here that I need to take a look at. Since we're talking controllers. So this is Ian's +1. And I actually have run some laps with it. It's got a pretty substantial box that goes with it. So here's a close-up. And you've got to kind of do the conversion to frequencies and figure out like what number frequencies mean what. And once you get like the baseline set, which I just used Ian's settings and thought those are probably fairly close. He probably has a much different driving style than I do, but I will say that the controller handle, this is super light. And these knobs, they have little indents. They're very easy to lock in, to make the adjustment, and you can make the adjustment for your traction control. I believe it's traction control, braking, and sensitivity right here without messing with the box. But then you can dive in deep with the box. And I've spent maybe 15 or 20 minutes running some laps, and I don't like the trigger. The trigger's kind of a pretty sharp curve. And I mean, I guess for a single trigger, it's not bad, but I'm so used to having my 2-finger trigger. I've printed a 2-finger trigger for this, and I'm probably going to do a video on like changing that out. And then when I send this back, I'll change it back when I send it back to, but I want to give it a fair shake. But my initial thoughts are the sensitivity, I don't have it dialed in yet. The braking, I feel really good about the braking. The traction controls and the sensitivity are the two that I'm still trying to, like, I'm kind of out to lunch on. The cars feel a little twitchy, a little snappy for me, so I need to calm that down just a little bit. But I just need to, like, plug it in and just go with it for a little while, so that I can really get to know it. I haven't spent enough time with it to get to know it. But first impression is it is a really nice controller, and the memory piece to it is like, that's a game changer. So that's going to be the key. And I think that we're going to see more and more controllers go to that, where they have a memory setting so that you can, have a setting for every track that you go to, potentially even have a setting for every lane of a track that you're on. Now, that seems a bit much. I don't tend to make lots of changes between lanes, but I guess if it's a memory setting, then maybe I would. Maybe instead of tweaking my trigger finger in my own head saying, okay, I need to brake earlier or I need to brake later, I could just go to that lane setting and be consistent. That's probably a better idea. So yeah, let me catch up on the chat if we've got anything else going on. Hey, Mark. Thanks for tuning in. Daryl had a question for you. So, music practice on Thursday nights, one Thursday a month now. I will not have music practice, band practice. So next month on the third Thursday, I plan to come to Cincy Slots. So you may only see me like twice between now and the end of the season, but I need to get down there and see all those guys because I miss those guys. So Get Right is in the house. Time to drive the bus. Well, be safe, man. Let's see if I missed any questions. Love the +1. Try adjusting the trigger pull and take the time to get intimate with the throttle and brake. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I'm just not comfortable with that yet, John. Again, I haven't taken enough time. I've been building layouts, which you guys know that's one of my favorite things to do. I love designing layouts. I love building layouts. So I'm trying to come up with some good designs for this polycar track, and there are not a lot of polycar tracks out there to look at to get inspiration from. The ones that Polycar themselves they post are these gigantic tracks, and it's hard to like get any inspiration for what should be in my layout. I want elements that might be similar to that type of track, but it's hard to get inspiration on a track that's like 180 feet long when my track's going to be half of that if I'm lucky. So some other views. Here's a split view that we can run. I've got this view, set up some new stuff, which I think is pretty cool. Greg, I did see you just rebuilt your track. The track looks really good, man. Are you happy with it? I watched your live stream. Sometimes you have to grow into a track. I don't know if you guys remember the first Polycar track I hated, and I changed it like right off the bat. I ran like 30, 40 laps on it and was like, yeah, I don't like this. I've got to change it. And then the second iteration I really, really liked. And but there was still some tweaks that need to be made. So I got to like version 4 and I was really happy with that. And that's where it's been until I just tore it down. So, it looks like the guys aren't, I guess they're there. They're running laps. All right. I don't have the network in front of me that it came with. The DeFalco comes with a 292. Is that right? I've got it right here. A 290. Yeah. So a stock network is a 290. So that's what they all ship with. I don't know. We could walk over and ask the guys their thoughts on the turn the microphone on. Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. All right, let's walk over, and let me change the screen here. All right, guys. Everybody's asking, what are your thoughts on the Polycar track? Yeah, compared to Carrera.
I'm not ready to give up my Carrera. I really want to try the Scale Auto, but be honest, honestly, because half the people listening think silicone's for boobies.
Right.
I really think I'm getting a little bit better grip once the Carrera track gets cleaned up, or I'm so used to it, I understand how the car slides better on it.
Yeah.
Kind of comment that you were talking about before about the borders. I wish it was, I've gotten used to the width of the Carrera.
Right.
I think it's really cool. I'm glad had to make a decision for using Carrera Track a decade ago. Be really tough to pick today.
Yeah. I think that's what you run into is like we have choices now that we didn't have years ago. So many, and you buy into a system, and that's the problem. Like with this, you buy.
It's a big investment.
Yes.
It's a very big investment. So in once you invest in borders, you invest in lots of track, it's hard to go to something else. And so I had to just kind of tell myself it's for the channel. Something when I bought the Polycar, it's for the channel. It's something that we got to figure out, and I really wanted to test it. The grip level, it races different. I mean, I think if we were, you mentioned you were running an NSR that had rubber tires on them.
No, but
no.
I think with this, I would have to go to, I would be able to get away from more stock tires or rubber or urethane tires. Where Carrera, without the Carrera, really needs that traction built into it.
Mm-hmm.
Where this has it, and I wouldn't be switching tires. And be honest, from what playing with it today, with the R2 turns you said, I would not be so heavily invested in slot invasion guides as well.
Right. Yeah.
With the Carrera, I kind of need to go to it for keeping the car a little bit hot, hotter through the corners.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a big change. Like the slot invasion in the R2s and R1s, the slot invasion, its width, it gets tight and it really impacts the car. And so you would have to sand those down. It doesn't take much. I've done one of my guides just to see what it took. It didn't take a whole lot, but I just took sandpaper and just on the, because it's the slot invasion is tapered a little bit, right? It kind of comes out and then back in, and then see how it's got a little bit of a taper, and I just took that taper out. But the NSR guides, it loves the Polycar track.
Yeah, this is the report, so the race ready
Yeah.
guide, and it's phenomenal through here.
Yeah. So I know people ask me all the time, would I do Polycar if I was starting over completely? I might. I think the 4-lane in Polycar was a lot of fun, but it's much tighter racing. You're like 3.5-inch lane spacing versus 4 with Carrera, and it gets 1/32 scale. Like there's plenty of room on Carrera track to race 4 wide. You still can bump into each other. Here, you are bumping into each other. Like it.
Well, in 1/32, but 1/24 scale.
Yeah, you can't run 1/24 scale on this. It's too narrow.
But ask me that some question mid-May after we get a chance to run on the Scale Auto track.
So the space on Scale Auto will be very comfortable because you're used to the lane spacing, but the borders are the same width as these.
Okay.
And so,
interesting.
And
okay.
so you run into that with Scale Auto. The Scale Auto, where this has got a tooth, kind of a teeth to it, the Scale Auto feels like sandpaper. So it doesn't really have teeth like Polycar.
Yeah.
But it's got grip, and it feels like sandpaper. And silicones are not great on. They're okay. They're good. I mean, you got to do some work. But they're like, I think that 0 graining tire as it gets trued in on the Scale Auto would be really, really good.
How's that compared to the modular setup, the Aussie company? I can't think what they are now. That you said the same thing when they came here. Silicones were horrible on it.
Yeah, I didn't care for it on the MR tracks.
Because I love the
Tracks,
modular
Mr.
tracks, that idea. But as soon as you said the silicones were good on it, it's kind of like it's in the whole investment thing.
Right.
It's like I'm doing what I can apparently with slot invasion, keep Oscar in business and Pamela in business, that goes away. I hate to say, if I switch brands, and or I'm going to sell all the Carrera and start from square one, and I can't imagine doing that right now.
Yeah, I think when I first jumped in on the Polycar, I didn't love it, and then I made myself run like 2,000 laps on it. And after I did that, I was like, okay, I'm really liking this. Do I want to replace my 4-lane Carrera with 4-lane Polycar over here? And I started thinking about it. I started like trying to plan out what the layout would look like. Would I try to build something, because I like this layout, would I build something similar? And then after I hosted the holiday race on this, I was like, nope, I'm sticking with Carrera here on this table. That race was a lot of fun, that endurance race on this track. I think the guys enjoyed that layout, enjoy this layout. The biggest marshalling issue is right there, that turn, because it's inside, and it's tough to marshal. And this is pretty easy because you can put a marshal here. Everything else you can get to, but if you come out in the straight, you're reaching across, and that becomes an issue. So it became a track call. That's why I've got track call buttons everywhere. And it worked, but because of the endurance race, it lengthened the race. We probably added a whole hour to the whole race because of all the track calls. And it's part of racing, right? Right. But like sometimes you can create a layout that has less problems, that it's easier, that you've got a place to get to. But on a table this big, that's hard, and like the fact that we can't have somebody on that side still doesn't help your marshalling issue there. So yeah, Carrera's going to stay on this table. Polycar's going in on the other table, and I'm officially out of slot car room space because
you have the attic.
I do have the attic, but don't even bring that up to my wife. If I take over the attic too, I'm in deep trouble. You guys have run some laps. I'm looking at the lap counts. You've got 466 and 340 laps. It's good stuff.
As usual, Thunder slots are the fastest on it.
Yeah, they do like the track.
They like the track a lot.
But they get a lot of magnetic downforce on this track. The Thunder slot does. That motor does. So, yeah, good stuff. All right. Hopefully, everybody was hearing that. Yeah, Chris, I'm getting fancy. I'm getting fancy. That's why I was 10 minutes late. I'm getting fancy, too fancy for my own good. Just got 2 124 scale Carrera, Porsche, and a Lamborghini. Nice, DJ. That's cool, Patrick. Hey, Tad. What's up? Marty doing roving interviews. I'm like the man on the street, Tad. Man on the street interviews. Yeah, DeFingers, if I had another foot, it would probably take 2 feet. One would be ambitious. If it was a flat track, I might be able to pull it off, but it would really create kind of a really low ceiling. But if I had 9-foot ceilings down here, yeah, I could do that pretty easy, I think. Daryl says, yeah, sends me to my room, and my room is the entire basement, as she discovered last night. She came down for the first time in a very long time, and she was like, what have you done down here? And then, where did you get all this equipment? Where did all these cars come from? Tight lane spacing requires tuning and driving so that the rears follow the guide. John, I don't like my cars to have the rear follow the guide. I'm actually getting better at that. My Lola is locked in right now. I'm really happy with it. The red one is too. I feel like I've gotten there with my NSRs, and my slotted Group C cars are pretty solid too. So, man on the street to Marty at the track. So yeah, and I mean I can talk about that. We'll have a trackside mic. That's going to be fun. We might need to recruit somebody to do that, but the AMSCO race, it's going to be fun. What else do we have? What time is it? 9:16. Wow. I got started late. Does that mean I can go 10 minutes late? Have I missed anything in the chat while I was doing that? Let me go back and look. Yeah, the 522 is better suited for larger, more wide open tracks. I'll be honest with you, like the 522 really helped me at Bruce's track. And until the last time I raced there at Cincy Slots, and then I felt like the network was starting to get slow for me. The 522 is really good for me at Butch's Wood Track. When I raced there, I really liked that. It's official. Marty's entire basement is a slot car track. Next up, the dining room. If I moved anywhere, Tad, it would be the attic. This house has a gigantic attic, like 15-foot ceilings attic in the middle. And that section of the room is about 16 feet wide. That goes up probably 12 feet to the rafters. It's all post and beam. It's an old house. And honey, past the thunder slot. That's right. This is good. There's only one problem with that, Mrs. Ford. Yeah, I'd be in big trouble. I would be in big trouble. But back to the tight lane spacing. I don't mind it. I mean, it does bring an element of like good, close, tight racing. And you really have to think about like trying to pass somebody on the outside. And so that's why, like, when I think about the polycar track, like the 4-lane, making a 4-lane polycar track on the other table, that's kind of fun, because then you'd have, potentially 4 wide racing, and you would have to just be really good. And you'd have to make decisions about, do I try to pass somebody on the outside? Am I going to get nerfed? And you already deal with that on the Carrera track, but there's even more potential of that on the polycar. But that's what makes racing fun, right? Robert, Santa Claus brought all this to me. She knows better. So yeah, too funny. Got to get the Scale Auto cars locked in. I definitely do. Like I said, I ordered the Lambo today as my GT. That'll be my only GT car. And so I need to decide if I'm going to go GT3 or GT4 for the AMSCO race. I'm still undecided on whether I'm actually going to race or not, but I can't be silly and not prep a car for it just in case. But if we get to, the end and there's still plenty of room and we haven't capped out, then maybe I'll jump in and race. But the live stream is actually the most important piece for me. I want to make sure that it goes off without a hitch. Steve and I have big plans, and Steve Sawtell and I have had conversation after conversation about how we level up for that AMSCO live stream, and I'm pretty excited about getting to cover that race. I know it's in May. We have plenty of time, but we don't have plenty of time. It's going to be here before we know it. So, let me know in the chat, those guys that are already committed to go. Did anyone get the Revo RX-7? Vin, yes. My friend Pamela sent that to me. And this car is fun. It's a fun drive. I don't have any Shelf Queens. I got it tuned up, and it runs really, really good. It keeps up with most of my Revo slots. So I think they've got some new... Did they announce new liveries coming in the RX-7? I can't remember. Oh, no, those were all Group 2s, I think. Marty, I hope you know someone I know. I might know somebody you know, Chris. Yeah, I just said, yeah, they're Dusty's and John Marks. They left them for me to play with. Tad. Tad, here you go, man. I do have a headset mic. Check one. There we go. Let me bring that down a little bit. I wouldn't call this a Britney Spears headset, but this is what we're going to be broadcasting in for the live stream. So I'm pretty excited about that. This means that, I move away from the microphone. I never move away from the microphone. So as I can do things. So, ask and you shall receive. Tad. Tad, it is a cool attic. I'll have to post pictures of it. I could put a gigantic layout. I could put a large wood layout. It's about 50 feet long. 24. No, it's not. It's not 50 feet. 24, 34. It's about 35 feet long. And about 16 or 17 feet wide before you have to deal with some beams. So, yeah, that actually, you could put a pretty sizable. Sounds like you need to talk to a bank about a home improvement loan. I know somebody who works at a bank. If I had one choice only, would you choose the Polycar or the Carrera? Okay, Ninko 1969. I'm going to keep them both. But if I had to make one choice and I was buying a brand new track today, I probably would go Polycar. Because it's a smaller footprint, you can build a little larger layout in about the same space. Not much bigger. Mainly, though, because of the R1s, and you can go up to R6s. So you have more turn radius choices with Polycar. You can go up to a 12-lane track if you wanted to. Just know that R5 and R6 track pieces, Polycar is never going to build. Those you have to build yourself. You 3D print them, and then they make a rail kit that you can buy. And I think that I would go Polycar if I was starting over with zero. But I'm already heavily invested in Carrera. I have all the borders that I need. This layout is probably going to be the same layout for a long time. I don't know that I'm going to change it up. I think my plan is to use the Polycar track to change up frequently to scratch that itch for me. It will be the Carrera is going to stay like it is. It just fits the table so well at this point that I don't plan on changing it. Especially if I continue to host the holiday race. Greg and we haven't talked about that, but if for some reason they come back for holiday race, or I create my own endurance race for those guys here, even if it's not a holiday race, I think I want to be consistent with the layout. I think I want to keep that. So, but starting over, I'd probably go Polycar. Mostly because stock tires work really well on it. And so you don't immediately have to invest in a new set of tires. But tires aren't expensive. We've got great products and great choices out there. And my friend Pamela, she takes good care of us by providing all kinds of great tires. And when a new car comes out and needs tires, she's on top of it. She and Todd, they do a great job. And, you know, Slockhart Corner and Cloverleaf with Quick Slicks, they do a great job. If you're a urethane user, Paul Gage has, you know, good selection of tires for like older cars, hard to find. Paul Gage has tons of choices. And then new urethane tires, I mean, hardly anybody can beat Bobcat. Bob does an awesome job of getting tires out there. He was the first company that had urethane tires for the Carrera Mustang, or the Carrera Gen 1, or new next generation NASCAR. Like, he was all over it. And so I appreciate, you know, how fast he was able to do that. So yeah, I think we have lots of great choices. I've got quite a few cars with Bobcat urethanes on them that I run on the oval, the wood oval, because that's the tire choice, since that's what Harry runs the proxies. And so I've got a mix of Paul Gage and Bobcat urethanes. So they work well. But so, like with a Polycar, I think you can make any tire choice, and there's enough grip for just about anything there. And so that would probably be my choice. But now I'm too deep in. I don't have to make that choice. My front entry is workbench and spray booth. Living room is all scaly 4-lane and HO. Family room is getting Carrera Digital and Polycar on the coffee table. Nice, Brad. Yeah, that's great. What else? I love my Polycar, though. It's the best you can get in quality. I will say that the Polycar snaps together really good, and it's firm, and it doesn't come apart very, very easy. And the geometry is so good that you can swap any turn out with any other turn, as long as you've got enough straights and the different size straights to make it work. So you can go from an R1 corner to an R2 corner, to an R3 corner, to an R4 corner, to an R5 corner. And they will all work if you've got the space, not just a straight 180 turn. It doesn't work that way, but I guess it can if you started with an R4, and you could go to R3 and then R2 and R1, which actually would go out wider. But so the geometry of the Polycar is really, really smart. And I had zero problems like making it, freestyling a track and making it work. So I think they do a nice job. Rob says, "Oh yes, we're coming back when the weather's better." When it doesn't snow 8 inches during the race. Oh, Pamela, I didn't forget Bobcat. Didn't forget Bobcat. I wasn't going to forget Bobcat, but yeah. There's my RX-7. I like to show that off. So yeah, and then what do I got? I got some super tires on my fronts, and I think I've got what do I have? Yeah, Thanks to Ray Lego, having Pamela develop the Ghost grips on my Days of Thunder C8. Shout out to Super Tires. Question: who makes silicone tires for a 132nd Carrera Cheetah car? I can't find any anywhere. That's a good question. I don't know what the what size wheels those Cheetahs are. That's look at that. I love it. Collaboration. Do any of you need to buy an expensive tire truer with urethane tires? Do you really need to? Alan asks that. I mean, define expensive. If you're truing urethanes true up really easy. The CG tire truer is great. I have the 'Craig Gabb's 3D printed truer, and that's a great truer, and it does awesome with urethanes. I always use urethanes on the fronts of the scratch build cars, and I mean, you can true those so fast, and that truer works great. And those aren't expensive truers, so I don't think you have to spend a bunch of money on a truer. I do think that if you're getting serious about truing your tires, you don't want to just like sand them. It's hard on the motor. You want to be able to pull the axle off, pull the tires off, pull the wheels off, and put them on a truer. So I think that's a smart move. Gary, we had a test and tune last weekend with our scale autos on Carrera track. I even got to square stock tires to work. The ones chosen for the Nationals hook up nicely. We are highly encouraged. Chris, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that the test and tune went well. And it's exciting that you're having good luck with those scale auto tires on Carrera. If you can get it to hook up on Carrera, then they're going to be great on scale auto. Just saying. Revo RX-7 and NSR Lola were two of the best cars I got last year. Lola is so fast. Brad, I agree. I love the Lola. One, I love the look of it. And then two, it's just a great runner. I'm super addicted to my NSR cars right now. I think I say that every week. They're my go-to when I just want to run some laps and get fast laps in and like very little marshalling. I'll grab the NSR and I can just lap after lap after lap after lap, push those cars, all of them. But I kind of went back to running my 3A3D modify. I ran some laps with that. I haven't tried. Have I tried it on the Pala car? I don't think I've tried that on the Pala car. It'd be interesting to see how those urethanes hook up on the Pala car. But then my Revo, the RX-7, that's the only Revo I've been running here as of late. Daryl, it's only cheating if you get caught. Harry says you need a truer. Chris, I would agree. I think having a truer, you just don't have to spend a ton of money on one. Those less expensive ones, they can get the job done. Now, people drop money on the Huddy, but people love that truer. I've not used one, but I could see where the advantage is. All track can be great when you get used to running on it. It's driving for track conditions, especially grip. Yeah, I mean, George is famous for saying you tune your car to your track, right? And you can make some educated guesses if you're going to another Carrera track that it's going to be very similar from a hookup standpoint. But yeah, you should always tune for the track surface that you're going to be on. If you look at the GNS Truer, he will send you a complete kit to build. It's cheaper, or you can buy a fully assembled version. If you have a 3D print, you can print everything and just order the hardware. Yeah, the GNS. Thanks, Mike. I have that truer. Um, I got the kit and I built it, and it's really easy to build. I had it built in like an hour, and was truing tires on it. So anybody can put that thing to good use. What else? We listened to Jim Rose and Harry Wise. That's a good plan. I have a 3D printer. I will check out the GNS. Thanks. Yeah, Alan, you can order from the GNS. You can order the hardware kit, and then print your own parts. But it saves you some money. But buying the complete kit, I think, is probably worthwhile. It's a lot of print. It's a lot of printing. I'll just say that. Daryl says I took the magnets out, Dusty. What more do you want? I missed Dusty's comment. Yet. Okay, gotcha. Too funny. I don't know. I felt like I didn't kick off the night very good with some struggle to get live, but once we got there, I think we've got some cool things happening. It's a close-up shot of the Speedway, the Polycar laying on top of the Carrera. Yeah, this is going to be good. The guys must have worn themselves out. They're not running. Either that or they're ready to tear down the Polycar and run some laps on the Carrera. So, well, I'm going to wrap things up. It's 9:37. Thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. I'll get back with all of you on whether I go 2 lanes or 4 lanes on the Polycar on the other table. I'll post some pictures of the table with a clean slate, and then we'll get things up and running. And I'll make a video, obviously, of that process. I don't know if I'll do a video of building the track, but at least what the final product will be. We'll run some laps on it. So hopefully everybody has a good week. Let me know. Are you planning to? Oh wait, I got some more comments here. I missed it. Daryl says, Jerry, yes, for the last 6 years, but a little birdie says he's about to put 3 more tracks in the warehouse. I know that Bruce has a wood track. That's cool. I know that the company was supposed to move things out of the warehouse. They had a year, I think, is what Bruce said on his channel. Tom asked, do I know how much table space is for May? I do not know. Reach out to Steve Holzman or Greg Kessler. Those guys could help you. Chris Holmes, I also have a secret weapon, coach in the legendary form of Dickie Cheetah Pearson. Yeah, you can't be steered wrong by Dickie. The guy knows how to drive and how to build a car. So, guys, yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to sign off. I was going to say one more thing. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Tuesdays, I really look forward to Tuesdays. Tuesdays come around really fast, and they get here, and I'm like, am I even prepared for this? And we jump on, and we just have fun conversation. So Tuesday is a bright spot. But in the chat, 2 lanes or 4 lanes, let me know if those of you are watching this after the fact. And should I do a slot car life group? What are your thoughts? Or do I have a jam session with people? Rocking out some guitar or something. I don't know. So I'll let you know next week what I decide, because I think I got to tell them by tomorrow. Thanks, Bob. Hit the like button. Ty, thanks, man. John Albright. They can also be done with Fine Jeweler's file. Yeah, guys, have a great rest of your week. Enjoy, and like I always say, go have fun racing.